Looks like we're back. Skaggs is back. BK behind me. You hear the music? Little Gap band going back. Rocking my Mount Eden hat. Got my Mount Eden sweatshirt. 6-0 in league. Another 3-point win at Arroyo last Friday. 2-point win at Encinal. Things are good for Coach O'Brien. And then Coacher had to hit a jackpot, the small end, for 10 grand the other day. And then he had to go in and put about 3 grand beat down on the hyenas. Well, things are going pretty good. I wanted to talk a little bit about that and share the jackpot story. And I want to thank my boys basketball team for playing so hard and getting those wins. It's always great to get a win in league. 6-0. Got San Lorenzo coming in tomorrow night. They got good players, good young coach. That should be a tough one. But let's talk about the jackpot. Yeah. So I was in there the other day. I don't know. It was maybe 10 days ago. You guys see BK right now. There's BK behind me. And I was playing with a guy. I'm going to show his picture here pretty soon. His name is Josh. And so I'm going to also show a picture of the jackpot. But basically what happened was I was dealt pocket 9s and Josh was dealt pocket 8s. Josh had about 4 grand in front of him, and I think I was down to about 2,500. I didn't quite have him covered. You know, Skaggs likes to have the table covered because when he hits a big hand, he wants to get all the money. You know, it's funny. You know, people have their ideas and everything, but if you go to Las Vegas and you hang out with the Vegas pros, it's a pretty easy to spot a Vegas pro. A Vegas pro will have a backpack, and they will always buy in for the table max, and then they'll be vaping, right? That's how you can spot them. They'll have like a thing of water, and they're just like sitting there mucking every hand. I mean, they're really brutal to play with. They'll never pay you off. But you can tell if it's a pro, they always buy in the max. And so what does that tell you? Well, it tells you that the way to win in the long run on this deal is you have to have the table covered. That's just how it is. You got to have the table covered so when you do hit big, you get all the money. I play a lot, and I'm playing with the hyenas, running around with their $200, and yeah, they spike me, but they take me for $200, which, in the game of No Limit is really a small hit. And I'll just sit there and I'll say, hey, Uncle Paul, that's a great hand. Thank God you only had $162. Instead of someone who has me stacked and I've got 2,500 in front of me and it costs me 2,500. So I just, it's my philosophy, and it's been gleaned from years and years of playing that having the table covered's really one of the essentials of playing. So anyway, I had pocket 9s. He had pocket 8s. He was in seat 2. I was in seat 3. That's another one of my philosophies. I always want to have the action players to my right when you're on the table. Okay, to my right, I want the action players so I can act after them. And I want the rocks on my left. And that reason is simple, is because they never play a hand. So if you've got the rocks on the left, really, you'll say you have 2 rocks to you on the left. You're really on the button 3 times because they're not going to play a hand. And then if they do play a hand, you just muck because, it's aces, kings, queens, ace, king, ace, queen. They're never going to come in with anything but a top 10 hand. So you know exactly where they are. They're easy. It's so easy to play with. You just muck your hand. So Josh was to my right. He was action. He had pocket 8s. Flop came 9, 8, maybe a king, right? 9, 8, king, maybe. So possible 9-8. No, not a possible straight. No, yeah, nothing on the board. It was rainbow. Rainbow being three different cards. Then the turn. So we both checked. The turn came in 8. Is that right? Yeah, the turn came in 8. And the flop, what was the flop? The flop was it 2 9s? 2 9s and an 8? Okay, so the flop was 2 8 9. All right, and I had pocket 9s, he had pocket 8s, so we both had a set. The turn came in 8, which gave him quad 8s. And I think he bet like $50. I just called. River came in 9. So he's got quad 8s. I have quad 9s. He makes it $45. Okay. Understand we both have pretty big stacks. I come over the top. I don't want to scare him off. I make it 145. And then he goes all in, and I wanted to make sure I heard him, and so are you sure all in? All in? He goes, yeah, all in. I said, okay, I call, and boom, flipped it over, quad 8s, quad 9s. So I won. I had like 2,500, so I won 2,500 from him, and then I won the small jackpot, which was 10 grand, and he won the big jackpot, which was like 25K. And then there was a table share for everybody else, and they each got like $741. And I tipped out at least $1,000, which was probably a little too much, but I took care of the dealer and the floor man. And then there were 2 guys, Wes, who never plays a hand, was eating, and then Ed, who is a pro, owns like 10 houses. He was up too. So if those guys would have been in the hands, there would have been no jackpot. And understand, a chance of having quads over quads is like 1 in almost 18 million. Not only that, but in order to get the big jackpot, it's got to be quad 7s. Okay, so I don't even know, what that is. It's in the millions. And obviously, incredibly lucky. I mean, beyond lucky. It's the first time I've ever been involved in any type of jackpot, and I've been playing since 2004. So, yeah, that was kind of cool. It was real cool, won a little money there, able to stash some money in the bank for the book, Down to the Felt, which the great one I've talked before, he's almost done writing it. And we're going to try to get that out by the end of the summer. So that was real nice. And then I went back a few nights later, and I was able to hit him for, 2,500. I was stuck. I was stuck like $1,000. And then I just caught fire. The game was good. Josh was there again. And there were a couple other guys there who were pretty good. And the game caught fire. And, yeah, I turned it around. I was up like 2,500. I really should have stayed, but we played a Royal the next day, who's a very, very good club, talented club. And, I wanted to be ready to go for that. So I came home to get my 8 hours sleep and get ready for the Dons, or else I would have stayed. Yeah. So, that's what we got going there. Love it. It's great to be back playing, great to be coaching, just great to be alive. Jackie's working, she's helping us out with all this stuff, and we got some good music coming, and we're going to keep playing. We got the Reno trip coming up. I think it's the 20th year. Although there's BK again, all the boys, Adonis Jordan, Clint says he's coming. Yeah, let's Sean Patrick Hook, hopefully Stephen Allen Whitworth, of course the Reno boys, Sean Allen Doolin, Sam O'Brien, the basketball player, really good player, drawing a blank, Kyle Shalene, and he won 2 state titles at Reno High. He'll be there. We usually have a group of about 25 people, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And that will be, I think, March 15th is when we're all flying in. We'll play some blackjack. Actually, no blackjack. I'll play a little poker, but mostly we'll be betting the games, and we'll be getting ourselves probably losing money at the buzzer with the half-court shots, like what was happening last year. But you basically have 4 games on during a shift that go from like 9 a.m. to like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So you've got constant action going on. Oh, and we have a new deal here. My wife Cecilia is helping out, and she's going to ask some questions. All right, we're back. Had a little power outage there in the house. I have to go fix it. Back here with Cece, we have a new feature. We've got a message board, and people from all over the world are actually sending in questions. So we'll take three a session. So my beautiful wife Cecilia, what are the questions there?
You were a pro basketball player. It seems you have transferred that energy to poker. Why?
Well, that's really a good point. Well, poker's such a competitive game, and it's a lot like sports, and it is a sport. And so, I used to dominate on the court. Can't do that anymore, old man. So now I dominate playing poker, and it's a lot of the same feeling, the euphoric feeling, battling, grinding, trying to get a victory, going up against really good players. And then the boot here is I made a little money playing basketball, but I probably make more playing poker, and I can still do it at the age of 56, so it's great.
Jarrell from LA, what is your goal in poker?
My goal, a lot of people, they're just giving away bracelets now down at the World Series of Poker in Vegas. But my goal is to obviously win a World Series of poker bracelet, and to keep on working on becoming one of the great cash players in the world. So I'm hoping that we can make a little money off the book and then the movie, and have enough money to play real deep stacked poker.
Thank you.
Oh, I think there's one more.
No.
Yeah, there is. There was from France, from Denmark, where I actually played some pro basketball. Skaggs, how did you get involved in playing poker? Well, that's funny. At the tail end of 2004, I started watching this series called Tilt with, is it Don or Dan? Don Madsen. I always get his name messed up. But anyway, he was the matador. He was the one who was basically running the game in Vegas and winning in cash games. And then, he did some legal stuff. He was kind of dirty, and he had a guy whacked from somewhere from Iowa, and his brother came out to take him down. And then three young kids had gotten ripped off by the matador. So it was a 9-part series about taking this guy down, and it had a lot of poker in it. And I started watching it, and I just enthralled with it. And I used to watch it. It came on like every Thursday, and Julie and I would watch it. And I started playing. I was horrible. I couldn't win a hand. I couldn't have a winning session. I'd lose 3, 4, 500 at the Oaks playing 3-6. Then I discovered 6-12, and I was losing at that. Then, thank God, that summer in 2005, I stumbled into the Palace. I don't even know how I found it. And there was Kevin Krager was dealing. He's a great player in his own right, dealing no limit. There was an open seat. I played there for about a half an hour. I won a little money, and I was hooked. And from that point on, it's just been no limit the whole way. So I'd say the series Tilt and Don Madsen. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed another session at the house with Skaggs. We love working with you guys. And we're going to have Jackie's going to kind of neaten up the presentation here. remember, you keep those little crazy rocks to your left because they never play a hand. You want them on your left. You want the action players on the right. And I say, be a lion, not a hyena. Skags out.